Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode number 170. How I start this off better. I'm doing the PGM here. Hi, I'm Austin Eartham. Welcome to the Kitchen Table Podcast. Here to motivate, educate, relate to you guys, sharing my stories, helping you get 1% better in all areas of your life. Now, welcome to episode 170. I appreciate you guys tuning in today. This is going to be a short one. A lot of good stuff has happened in the last month, but I'm going to condense it into 4 or 5 things to make it a little bit easier for you. Again, we try to keep it around 15 minutes, which is just over 1% of your day. You want to get 1% better every single day. If you're new here, what we do is we talk about the quote, talk about where I saw God this past week, and then what I have learned this past week, hopefully to help you guys out, mainly in the sports world, sports psychology, kind of fitness realm, a little bit of business things thrown in there as well. But anyways, without further ado, here we go. So quote of the week this week, CrossFit Games have just happened this last weekend. And one thing that I thought that was cool is a lot of us take the side of when people are chasing us, it's hard to stay on top of that mountain. They're doing a run event up and down, kind of a trail run with some big hills. And they're talking about how it's so hard to stay ahead of somebody and keep pushing that pace because they're chasing you. So they see where you're at and they want to get you. Whereas all you see is maybe a finish line way ahead, or you see the hills and that sort of stuff. Then when you hide in the trees, that's a time to get ahead of them because they can't see you. The guy who's leading the race, Ricky Garrard, tends to win a lot of the runs. He was basically saying, like, I'm in the lead. Like, I have confidence that I'm running the pace that I need to. So they got to catch me. All I have to do is keep running my race. They have to expend enough energy to catch me and then surpass me. So it's kind of flipping that language, which is really important. A lot of people say getting to the mountaintop's not hard, it's to stay up there. And I would say both are difficult, and it depends on the person. I'm somebody who, when I'm on the top, I already know that I'm the best. So it's a lot easier. Again, people are chasing me. They got to get to my level, and I'm only going to surpass that level. Kind of like people say UFC fighters gain 30% of fighting ability once they win a championship or a title belt. So having that energy and the drive to chase somebody down, yes, is there. But also knowing that you're the man and keeping that level or surpassing that level is something that it's really hard for people to catch up to and kind of the mindset that we want moving forward. So you can say, yeah, people are chasing me, I got to stay ahead. Or you can say, hey, they have to catch me, good luck. So I thought that was a great quote. Where I saw God this past month or week, a lot of different things. Went to a World Cup game. Just the energy of the World Cup, super exciting. Ended up getting a free VIP experience, which was really cool. And then obviously the CrossFit Games were on, which I'm a big fan of. But thinking about all that stuff is that's where I wanted to be in my life, and could have been playing in the World Cup as a little kid. And I wanted to play in it. Could have been playing it in the United States. Had a chance to help turn it around. Obviously that did not happen. Same thing with CrossFit Games. I'd love to be at it, but just not at that level. But recognizing God had a different plan for me, and this is where I'm at, is both exciting and also humbling. And that's we could go on for this forever, but it's interesting if that's where I could have been, and that's where I'm at today. Now, what I've learned in the past month, there's a lot of good things in here. Number one is I think reality is knowing your reality and being aware is really, really important in not only athletics, but just in life. So if you're aware of where things are at and you're okay with, hey, this is my reality, it takes a lot of that pressure off your shoulders of having to perform to a certain level or a degree or get a place, whatever. There's a couple other ways I'm thinking about this. Number one is, long story short, is my wife and I are having a baby here soon, and I hate going to hospitals for anything. I'm not a fan of hospitals. They're not very home-like. Something's usually wrong. It's a lot of sitting around. Obviously, it costs money. So something that I'm fearful of is the delivery date of the baby. Obviously, I'm not in control. Don't have anything really to do. Just sit there and be patient, which is annoying. And so instead of looking at it as, okay, reality is we're going to have it. It's going to happen, right? The days are numbered that it's just my wife and I at home. We're going to add another person to the mix for the rest of our lives. So having that awareness of knowing things are going to change, and when we get to the hospital, having it as an event, a fun event, a birthday party per se, instead of a stressful time is something that I've been trying to work on to make sure not just that my things are ready, bags are packed, got things organized, things like that, know the plan of what we're going to do, when we're going to do it, but being okay with, okay, this is reality. How do we turn it into something that's positive? How do we turn it into something fun or something I would enjoy more of? Take that to time off. Again, time off's great because I can spend more time doing other things that I enjoy rather than feeling I got to go to work. So having the awareness, being okay with the reality, and then flipping that script again. That should be the name of this episode since I've said it twice now. Flipping the script. Love how I always come up with the names in the middle of this. Flipping the script, it's going to make the outlook seem better, and it's going to make you have a better day and perform better per se, whatever it is. So in delivery case, my mood's going to be better. I'm going to be more upbeat, be more excited rather than stressed out or thinking what could go wrong. Now, that can lead into confidence. Something I thought about the other day is confidence is not hard to have. It's the fact of, are you okay with where you are at reality-wise? For instance, World Cup, U.S. probably wasn't a good enough team to make it to the semifinals or win it. Right? CrossFit Games, there's some people who just aren't good enough to win it. So one, are you okay with knowing where you're at? So if that's fifth place, okay, how do I reach fifth place? And then does your confidence level reflect that? And that's what the hard part is. Not telling yourself you can get fifth place, but are you willing to put in that effort and have that drive when it gets hard and you're having to work on that event, you're having to push through pain, you're having to meet that standard of that challenge? Or do you say, oh, this time it's okay to not run down the sideline? Is it okay to give up 4 placements on this event? That's the hard part, is can you meet that required effort to match your standard or the confidence where you think you should be and perform up to your abilities every time? Or do we start letting outside noise kind of affect us, the weather, things like that, how other people do? Most of the time, other people will crumble. Like I was at Tennessee for a big kicking event, and people do bad just because they start thinking things that they're not used to, and they're letting the moment get the best of them. Right? So if you can just be within yourself and play to your best ability and have confidence in where you're at and be okay with that, a lot of times we surpass our peers just because we perform up to our ability. And that's something we can take us, and it requires no other person or outside source to help you. It's purely what we think of, and we're telling ourselves those affirmations at the right time. So kind of there's like levels to focus within that too. So I was thinking about something that was on TV, and I thought, wow, this really relates to confidence and concentration as well. So one, you can just throw a stone. So you think about a big pond, chuck it. Okay, throw the stone in the water. Next time, okay, I'm going to have a target. So I have a target, but I'm not willing to throw the stone at the target. I'm just willy-nilly, right? I have confidence, but I'm not willing to put in the work, or I'm not concentrated to try to actually get better. So I just throw the stone even though there's a target because I want to hit something else. Then I throw it at the target, but I miss the target, right? So now I'm putting in that effort. I'm just not executing, which is, again, the easiest thing to fix is with just execution rather than having to deal with skill and confidence. Then I throw the stone, and I hit the target. Okay, now we're getting better. I'm building that confidence. I'm locked in on it. I'm going to try to do it again. I'm present, and then I'm able to hit it more and more and more. And that's when we start to grow our confidence, meet our execution level, and all of a sudden our placement on the leaderboard for whatever it is also getting better. So not only getting better physically, we're getting better mentally, and the results are showing, right? So there's levels, and I think confidence isn't hard. It's the required work to meet that confidence that is hard, especially throughout the whole season. So lastly, through all the stuff that I've learned this month, both in Tennessee, I gave a presentation, and so many people used it in the camp and thought it was great. And again, I know this stuff works, but to the extent that they showed appreciation was more than I expected. So that just shows that, hey, I'm in the right place. I'm doing good work. What I've learned is paying off, and I'm getting better at what I'm doing. Now that's great. And now we want to keep learning. How do I read more books? How do I continue to learn from other people in the kicking world, in the psychology world? Because I learned a lot of stuff in Tennessee from other coaches as well, both drills, what to look for in film, competitions, games, things like that. And just meeting people and seeing their stories helps gain perspective. So number one is, to kind of wrap this up, is we gain confidence when we trust our learning, trust our training. We might not always see it pay off to the exact point that we want, but it is paying off. And then secondly is we want to keep learning and then trying to get better. And then we have to use that learning. I always say kind of my methods in psychology is learn it, practice it, and own it. So once you learn it, you got to go practice it, whether that's looking at film, whether that is putting confidence into play in your training, whether that is trying to mimic your thinking that you're going to think about in a game. Even if you don't feel it at the moment, just prepare your mind for that. And then being able to do it under a pressurized situation and own it, because that's the new version of yourself. And that's the same thing for kind of adaptation, the readiness, things like that. Last thing before we get off is I would say you're not probably getting better the day before the game, right? So you're getting better a week or two before that, and after that, it's you're using what you have. So again, being okay with reality, knowing that you met that confidence level, that expectation, that preparedness during the week is going to help you on game day, just as it will help you give that presentation at work, just as it'll help you to be a parent, be in a relationship, all that stuff. So confidence is big, but that's how we get there that matters, just like you do for any process to get the results that you're looking for. So flip the script, enjoy what you're doing, and be aware, and then put some mindfulness and some action towards it, right? Awareness is just knowing it. Mindfulness is putting that action into it. So we want to be aware, be okay with reality, and then put that action in towards it. And that's all I got for you guys this month. Catch you guys next month. A lot of changes happen by then. And let me know what you thought of this episode. Talk to you guys later. Bye.